In this video, I want to talk with you about how to be shepherded. If you found a person who God is testifying to that this is a servant of His, that they are speaking the truth, you need to know how to be shepherded. And God says that He fires the worthless shepherds and He raises shepherds over His people who are not going to oppress them. They're not going to take advantage of them. And He says, you're going to know your teachers. You're going to hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. I've made myself completely available to you guys by email, phone, YouTube. I don't think many of you realize how much of an offering I'm actually providing in my lived experience, being assigned to you, an example to you, sharing about that on this channel, doing these videos as God is teaching me and telling me, now go speak it. In the Bible studies, in the workshops, in the assemblies, I have made myself so available. This is literally what I live to do. I don't mean in the worldly way, like, oh, I live to do this. Oh, it's so much fun. It's not fun for me. I live to do it because I live for the one who has redeemed me, who has purchased me at a price. And a lot of times, as we experience today, people can't be bothered to do like the very basic thing that God has them doing in the moment as He's building you. And you don't perceive that the offering that's in front of you is an example of what is going to be required of you in your covenant. I might have a different role, but I don't have a different covenant. You're going to be required to do certain things. And when the Antichrist rises in a little over 6 months, how will you ever be prepared for that if you can't do basic things? So I want to talk with you about how to be shepherded, how to use God's servants correctly. Because God's servants have made themselves available to you. They're not taken from you. They're not taking that counterfeit tithing. But the things that they do require of you have depth and meaning and transparency and authenticity. And everybody, when they start out, this is what they want. Oh, I want that. I want that. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going anywhere. But then when it happens, they fall because they just can't go that deep. And I'll be honest with you, usually the thing that people lead with is the thing that takes them out. Oh, I'm so accountable. Everybody says so. So accountable. Oh, I'm such a good mother. Just the best mother. I just gave up my whole life to be a mother. We had one that, said that and then was exposed and all of her kids were turning on her right in front of the body. Usually when people start with something like that, when they're leading with things like that, I kind of know that it's going to rise up later. And it happened again. So accountable, everybody says so. Here's the thing. You need to be able to know and identify what your questions are. And you need to ask your questions. Because it's not my job to anticipate your questions. And you're not going to blame me later for not providing something that's your job to know that you need. You need to participate in the conversation that's being had on this channel, the conversation that's happening in assemblies. In every assembly, you have an opportunity to ask questions. But here's the thing. A lot of people have misconceptions about what other people owe them, about what's going to provide their healing. And they end up trying to take the assemblies and covet them for themselves. When we assemble, it's for God. It's not for any one person in the body. It's for God. He's the thing. He is the one who brings us together in unity by His Spirit so that we're focused on Him, to honor Him, not for one person to take us a ride somewhere else. If you want this, you need to understand how to use it correctly. When the body comes together, we are there to lift up the body, to build up the body. We're here to trudge with each other. We're not here to dump what we're supposed to be taking up with God. That goes for the assemblies and it goes for YouTube because I've had people do it on the comments in YouTube too. That also goes for emails. You have a question, ask the question. But don't use me or the body as an idol. Because I know that in the world, we have a tendency to think that if we just talk about it long enough, it's going to purge out of us, and that's not the way that healing goes. God has sent those things in your life and you need to integrate them. And the only way to integrate them is to go back to the one who sent them and learn from him. You do your work with God and you come back and ask the questions you have. You don't burden or defile the body. Again, we're here for God, not anyone's individual issues that they need to sort through with God. And I want you to know that your issues do not serve him. Your healing serves him. So his goal for you is to be healed. But you're going to have to participate in that work by sorting through your feelings, sorting through your experiences and your thoughts, soothing yourself, and then bringing yourself to God correctly. And then you can come and ask the body for testimony if you get stuck. But you need to know your questions. You don't just come and dump your situation and expect us to put it together for you. Or dump your situation and expect us to anticipate the questions that you might have. That is unaccountability. God's shepherds are here to warn. God's shepherds are here to teach. God's shepherds are here to trudge and to be an example and to share their testimony with you. That's what we have. You hear me share my testimony. You don't hear me get on here and tell you all my problems. If I tell you what's going on with me, it's for a purpose, in order to build up the body or help you to understand this is what's required in the covenant and this is how I'm standing. If you don't understand this message, go and talk to God. Ask him to help you understand the message. And if you have questions, then come back and ask your questions. Be accountable for that. I want you guys to understand that you're being given an opportunity to return to God, to be taught how to do that before the Antichrist rises in a little over 6 months. You're being given an opportunity to be used with your family members, with your children, with your spouse, with those people you say you'd lay down your life for, but you're not, most of you, even willing to just transparency, guys. Like, no one's asking you lay down your life yet. Just transparency. Just be honest. Just do the basics right now of what God requires. Assemble. Return to him. Examine yourself. Paul says you haven't yet resisted sin to the point of shedding your own blood. How are you going to do that if you can't do basic things? Please understand that the work that I have laid out in Heart Known series, the testimony that I share with you, if you treat that like some sort of a therapy and you think that's what's going to heal you and you don't return to God, you will not heal. You will be very busy doing a bunch of work, but you will never heal. What Heart Known series teaches you is how to examine yourself and be accountable. But in every single exercise, I tell you, now go to God and go receive his ministry. If a therapist told you, here's the assignment that I want you to do, and you go do the assignment, you would come back and you'd have questions. You'd have things to share. You'd want to know about that assignment. Why did you have me do that assignment? But for some reason, you guys are not doing that with God. You talk about him existing, but you don't relate with him as though he actually exists. And it's making me wonder if you even believe that he exists. If you even believe the message that I'm speaking on this channel about the times and what needs to happen. Go discern what I've been saying. Go discern whether I'm from him. Go discern whether I speak the truth and what you need to be doing at this time. I want you to know none of your blood is going to be on my head. I have fulfilled my duty up to this point, and I will continue to fulfill it until the Antichrist rises and takes my life. I will not be responsible for any of your lives because I have done this and I have lived out the difficulties, lived out the suffering to show you before you even go through that suffering that this is what's required. I won't be guilty of any of your blood. It will fall on your own heads. And that includes your family members as well, those you were supposed to shepherd if you don't pick this up. Those who were entrusted to you, but you couldn't be bothered to do your own work so that you could be built to bring them in. That will be on you. Discern this with God.